Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another mid-year sort of video. I saw Sarah Crowley do this mid-year tag and I wanted to do it because I have lots of books that I absolutely love or I'm looking forward to reading that I want to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first prompt is best book you've read so far in 2023. Now, I actually wanted to do a best book series and best standalone book. So I'm gonna start off with the standalone book that I love, Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. I absolutely adore this book and I didn't really think I'd love it as much as I did going into it, to be honest with you. I just think this book is so beautiful. It handles a lot of deep topics and it could be very triggering. So if you want to go into this, I would check the trigger warnings, but I wasn't even in love with the romance. Did I find the romance cute? Yes, but that's not why I love this story. The way that this author wrote about the main characters and how they handled the situation that was within this book, I don't know, the author wrote this in a way that it really tugged on my heartstrings. Like, I was bawling like a baby during this book. It affected me in a way that I can't even explain. I've never really sobbed during a book like I have with this one. And lines in it, literally finding out the reason why it's called Darling Venom, I genuinely tears are coming in my eyes thinking about it. When I read those lines, I was inconsolable. It was 1 a.m. and I was inconsolable. I was like, no one can help me during this time. It's hell out here. I was like, this is pretty bad. I'm sobbing pretty bad. This is definitely, I would say, one of the best books I've read in this year. It was just phenomenal. I would highly recommend this. Now I'm going to move on to the best series that I read this year, which is not going to be a shock to literally anyone. I talk about this series probably too much and it's probably really annoying. The series is the Boys of Tillman series. This is not a shock to anyone. I talk about this series like I'm paid to do it, which I'm not. All of these books, all 4 of them, the ones that have come out, deal with triggering stuff such as abuse and, alcoholism, drug problems. I just would beware of the content before going into these books blindly. The first 2 books follow Shannon and Johnny. Also, all these books take place in Ireland, which is kind of fun to learn the slang. It was a little confusing to learn the slang and understand what was going on because I just don't know much about Ireland, but it was interesting to read about. We just see the immense connection that they have to each other, and the protectiveness of Johnny is just he's one of the best book boyfriends I've ever read about. Watching their relationship progress and them getting more comfortable with each other. Yeah, and if you also want these covers, I know they have people on them, but if you guys seen the new covers, these are much better. The ones with people on them are so much better than the new covers. No offense, Chloe Walsh, but so if you want these, you have to get them soon because they are being discontinued. These are the first 2 books in the series. I absolutely love Johnny and Shannon. And then the next 2 books that just came out this year are Saving Six and Redeeming Six. Both of these books follow Joey, who is Shannon's brother, so he also comes from that same family. And it also follows Aoife, who is Joey's love interest. They noticed each other right away and formed a friendship, which eventually turned into a relationship. I absolutely love this couple. Joey just breaks my heart. When I read his book, I cried so many times because of the things that he went through and the thoughts that he had. But he is such a good, protector of his family. It was crazy to see the responsibility that he had from the time he was literally a child and how affected him. It was heartbreaking. The protectiveness that he also had for Aoife and the way Aoife also protected Joey was just amazing and beautiful. I thought that their story was done so well and I really enjoyed watching their relationship progress. Please go read it. Check the trigger warnings, but it's amazing. Next, we're gonna move on to best sequel that I read in 2023. This one is a no-brainer for me. I just finished this book and this is a sequel to Flawless by Elsie Silver, so you know what it is. It is Heartless by Elsie Silver, the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. Just finished this 2 days ago and it is amazing. I am in love with Cade Eaton. I don't even know if I can express how in love I am with him. It's crazy. It's probably a little concerning that I'm so in love with this man, But this story is a small town single dad romance. It's also age gap because the female main character is his son's nanny and they have a 13-year age gap between the two of them. But like, when I tell you this age gap romance is so good, sometimes I'm not into the whole age gap. Like, sometimes I can find it a little uncomfortable to read about in certain stories that I've read. But this one, hi, hello, sir, like, I'm in love with you. This is written in dual point of view, as every single Elsie Silver book is written in. And watching how he falls and notices and just admires her from the start is crazy. Every single page, there is a highlight, especially in Cade's point of view, because just the way he talks about her and just notices the little things within her and her personality literally made me want to sob. Like, I don't even know if I can talk about this in a normal human way because I'm gonna start yelling. Watching the connection that Willa, the female main character, and Cade's son, Luke, I wanted to cry. That was like such a cute relationship that they had. I love this book so much. If you couldn't tell, this is a 5-star read. Like, this is like one of the most top tier. I would recommend this book to anyone that ever breathes near me. It's so good. And also, let's talk about the smut scenes. They were so good. And I'm gonna end it at that because holy crap. Next is a new release that I haven't read but want to. This one is gonna go to Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I really enjoyed Every Summer After when I read it. This one, however, so many people are saying it's bad. Like, to the point where I'm like, but like, I hope it's at least good. A lot of people are saying it's really bad. So like, we're gonna hold out hope that it's not. I hate not liking books because then I'm like, I just spent so much money on them and I don't like it. So that's my problem. Next, we're gonna move on to most anticipated release for the second half of 2023. I have so many that I'm looking forward to. The third book in the Knockabout series, Things We Left Behind, I think. I probably should have Googled this before I sat down to make this video, but I think it's Things We Left Behind. It is Lucian and Sloane's book. Hi, I'm in love with them. The snippets of them in the first and second book are crazy. They're wild. I love them so much. I'm super excited to read Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I have every book Lauren Asher has ever made and I have loved basically all of them. They're so good and I just love her writing and I'm literally a stan for her. So I'm super excited to read this new billionaire lakeside romance. And a special little mention, which is the next book in the Never After series, Cross by Emily McIntyre. I'm really excited for that too. As like talking about dark romance, I'm super excited for that to come out. Next, we're gonna move on to the biggest surprise of 2023. The second book in the Never After series, Scarred by Emily McIntyre. This book, I genuinely just thought I would enjoy. Like, I always enjoy dark romances. They're entertaining. They're just quick to read because there's just like so much going on and just like, I love that. This one, I give it 5 stars. That's how much I enjoyed it. I absolutely loved Tristan within this story and the relationship. And the way he thought about Sarah, like literally is crazy. There's so many quotes in here that I was like, is he really saying this right now? Because I'm just like so in love with him. And I did not expect to be in love with him this much. But I love this book. It is so good. It's incomparable to the rest. It's that good. I did not expect to love it this much, but I did. We're gonna move on to new fave author. I could bring back out the Boys of Tillman series, but I think that's said, like any category that series could fit in. So Chloe Walsh is again one of my new favorite authors, but I'm gonna go in a direction that I already went in for previous one, but I just need to talk about it more. My new favorite author is definitely Elsie Silver. I love her writing. This series and the way she writes these male main characters and just her writing in general is amazing. I fly through these books like it's nobody's business because I'm so interested in what's about to happen and I'm so interested in how the relationship is going to develop. I absolutely love Elsie Silver's writing and I would highly recommend reading this series. It is amazing and the different tropes that each book has are just like top tier and I love it. So go read this right now. Like, you will not regret buying these books. I promise you. Okay, now we're gonna move on to newest fictional crush. The first one, I promise I'm gonna stop talking about it soon, but I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. It's pretty obvious. Cade Eaton from Heartless. He is genuinely one of my new favorite men. I'm so in love with him. You all need to read this, especially for Cade Eaton. Genuinely don't know how I'm gonna move past him. And the next one is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. Tobias Rhodes, like, he was the moment. The way that I felt towards this male main character and the way that I felt towards this book was crazy. Like, I was feral for this book in the relationship, and I think it's because of slow burn. I love a good slow burn. I love that because the tension between the characters, it also happens in Heartless, this like sort of tension that builds up to this like release of them getting together. It's amazing, and especially this, Mariana Zapata, she found her niche. Like, slow burn is her mamma jamma. The way that Rhodes like showed his affection and the way he cared for Aurora, it was like crazy. Like, I have so many things highlighted in here because the small things that he would do that just like kept on building and building and building towards the relationship was so cute. He's one of my main male crushes. Like, I love him. And if you sense a theme, I am in love with older, small town, single dad men. Like, that is my niche. That's what I love in a book. Next, we're gonna move on to a book that made me cry. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. The first half of the book did not make me cry. Like, this did not make me cry. It was like the end that just like caught me by total surprise. I hadn't had this book spoiled for me, which I'm so thankful for, because if I did, I just wouldn't have impacted me as much. The way that this book at the end just like took a plot twist that like was heart-wrenching to me, because I love Noah Riley, the male main character in this book. That happening like literally affected me personally. I was like, this is too much for me. Like, why would you ever do that to me? It was just super duper good, and I did cry with my college roommate next to me, so that was great. Next, we're gonna move on to a book that made me happy. Bad Reputation by Kristen Becker Ritchie. Although like I did cry because I felt for the characters so much, this book made me so happy to read because I was just back in the Addicted Calloway universe and seeing my comfort characters, Lily, Lo, Rose Connor, and especially Reich and Daisy, seeing them back to life within these pages and just reading about them again after having not read about them for months was just amazing for me. And I will never get over the Addicted Calloway universe and all of those characters, and they literally feel like real people to me. That's how much I absolutely adore this whole universe and these stories. Reading about Willow and Garrison's story was amazing. I loved it, and I especially love Garrison, and I resonate a lot with Willow. She was amazing, and I just was so happy reading about my favorite characters and my favorite series again. The next one is the most beautiful book that you've bought in. It is Powerless by Elsie Silver. Like, this entire video is just about Elsie Silver, like, to be honest with you, because I love her so much. Like, are we looking at that cover? It's gorgeous. Like, it's so gorgeous. And all of her covers are really pretty, but especially this one with the purple and the ballerina on the front stands out to me. The next one would be Stolen Air by Sophie Lark. This cover, this is the best cover, I think, out of the entire Brutal Birthright series. I just love this one. She really did something with these covers, to be honest with you. Like, they're gorgeous. And the last prompt is books that you need to read by the end of the year. I have like a lot, so I'm just gonna give you like 2. I definitely need to read Elsie Silver's new release, and I will be reading Reckless as soon as it gets to my house. I also need to read Crimson River by Devaney Perry, which is the newest release in the Eden series, which is a small town romance. I definitely need to read that book, which is also coming to my house, so I'm definitely going to read those very soon. I also definitely need to get back into Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I DNF'd that book at like 200 something pages, just because I could feel myself not wanting to read it and like getting into an extreme book slump with that book. So I hope to get back into it, and I hope I do enjoy it because I did enjoy yours truly a lot. But yeah, that is the end of this tag. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of my face. I will see you guys in the next video that I post. Bye!